Well, it's that time again. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the stream. It's day 3 of Halo Reach. Stream 3 of Halo Reach. It's like almost the end of week 1 of modding Reach for me, and y'all are here for it, and I appreciate that. Before I get started with the stream properly, I just want to say there are some Halo Reach mod videos coming soon. I'm pretty excited about that. It's been a while since I made a Reach modding video. Well, you know, not... What has it been? Years now, actually. Years and years. Brian, ODSD Helljumper, thank you very much for becoming a channel member. I appreciate that. I am glad you like the stream enough to join. Thank you very much. I hope I can keep it up. It's your birthday, Wrath? Happy birthday. I'm just sipping my coffee, alright? I'll clear my throat afterwards, and we'll get started. Welcome! Welcome. You know what, hold on. Do we have hype Reach music? Reach music is like pretty chill, pretty vibey. Let's see. What do we have that'll just really spice things up? Maybe this will be good. Tip of the Spear. Yeah, Tip of the Spear is pretty good. Yeah, I like Tip of the Spear. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Sip of the tear. I will sip your tears. Ugh. So good. Now that's what I'm talking about. Alright everybody, welcome, welcome. We're back on the Space Sandbox map. As you can see behind me, way up there, we have the FLYABLE HD high definition full campaign detail model of the Covenant Corvette. Very nice. Might add an interior, we'll see. After that, we have the UNSC frigate, which is just right there to the side of me. Very cool, very cool. And then last stream, as you may remember if you were there, we did the Pillar of Autumn, which is also up there. Looking pretty damn good. How do you keep it floating? That's my secret. I can't tell you. But just know, I'm good at what I do. Also, it's a really, like, hacky, not very good solution, so I'm embarrassed to say it. You missed some big accomplishments? I've done some cool stuff on here, I won't even lie. Like, it's pretty exciting. I'm pretty happy with it. Now, I'm gonna fly some of them. I feel like it's pretty important to go ahead and fly these ships when I first get into game. So I'm gonna start with the frigate, show you guys how it feels. Then I'm gonna jump in the Corvette, and then last but not least, the Pillar of Autumn, aka the Halcyon light cruiser. Markhead Ashamed, thank you so much for the $5. I appreciate it. Could you add the glassing beam to a target designator or make a Covenant version of it? Yes. Yes, I can. And I probably will. Green Knight did it a long time ago, before we had official mod tools for Reach, and it worked really good. Let's go! Flying the frigate is a very satisfying thing. I cannot wait to run this in multiplayer and see how it all works. I might do some testing today as well. What you're seeing right now is me using the frigate, and the vehicle type that it's using is the same one that is used on the Pelicans and the Phantoms. So it's kind of floaty and it works pretty well, but I'm so tempted to use the Saber's space vehicle type on it. I think that would be exciting. I think it would open up a lot of possibilities for making the ships work a bit better. Culture Desert, thank you so much for the $5 tip. Much appreciated. Ah yes, the perfect stream for me to watch while enjoying my fresh order of a dozen Popeyes biscuits. Hey, yo, you gonna share some of those or what? I love Popeyes biscuits. Brian, thank you so much for the tenor. Really appreciate that. I hope you can make a tutorial of Blender to make a personal map for Halo 3 mod tools. Yeah, I could do that. That wouldn't be terribly hard. I could split it up into a couple 10-minute videos. Not so bad. Hey, yo, Imperator, I see you in chat. Big issue with the space fighter type is that the camera marker works differently. It's locked in place and turns on its own local axis. Yeah, I noticed that. I was trying to think if there would be any settings that I could like tweak to see if it'll be worthwhile to do it, because I'm not gonna lie, I have no idea if I can actually pull off a space fighter type based on the camera issue alone. Maybe, but I do really like the non-space fighter camera type where you can orbit around the whole ship. I think it looks really good. So we'll see though, we'll see. Skaboodly. And Arthur Coppernell, thank you so much for the 2, I appreciate it. Do you want a big goth mommy GF? See, I'm the kind of guy where I feel like a goth mommy GF sounds good in theory. But I think just like a regular, very cute girl, you know, is what I'm after. Maybe I'm just too vanilla for that. But then again, I've never had a goth mommy GF, so I couldn't say. I couldn't say. All my girlfriends and all the girls I've been with, they're just like very normal, chill girls. And I'm dead. Do I speak Portuguese? No, I'm not bilingual, unfortunately. All right, next up. The Covenant Corvette. God, this thing looks so good, by the way. I love the campaign model, and I am still, like, in awe that I actually managed to get the full detail campaign model to work. Marquetta Shaman with the huge $20 super chat. Thank you so much. That is insanely massive. Thank you. What the hell? I still believe they should have made Halo Saber an ace combat, or they should have made Halo Saber an ace combat in space using UNSC and Covenant vehicles. Join Wolf Squadron as its only Spartan 3 as you fly UNSC ships, board and hijack Covenant ships, and defend UNSC ships. See, that is like the dream right there. That is the dream. And I would like to go pretty hard on this mod that I'm working on right now and make it like actually quite good, so that I can theoretically play around with those ideas. Currently, I have it working where I'm still a regular scale Spartan, even though these ships are massive, and that opens up the possibility of like on-foot combat with these ships. But it's so difficult because the engine is just not built for interior combat on a ship of this scale. Like if it starts turning, the entire world would be turning for anyone inside of it. And I would have to restructure the entire game mode around supporting on-foot combat. Whereas right now, it's entirely focused on ship-to-ship combat. But then again, I'm in such an early stage with this, and everything's still such a heavy work in progress, that it's not out of the question. Like, I could do that. I really could do that. What that Wraith reticle doing? It's just the default reticle for, for the Corvette weapons, because the missiles I'm shooting right now, these are actually the guns that the Corvette turrets shoot in campaign, and for whatever reason it just uses the Wraith reticle. Didn't even technically need a reticle, but I guess Bungie just gave it this one, which is pretty cool. Corvette. I can see all the pixels. Yeah, 720p do be like that. I don't know if it's possible, but for ship hangars, is it possible to make what is essentially a fake room outside of the map that looks like a hangar? You could, but it would be kind of weird. Theoretically possible, yeah. Do the mod tools give you the ability to mess with individual gravity? I believe so, yeah. I think in Reach they even have like special gravity zones and related things for that stuff. That's how like in the Long Night of Solace, when you jump out of the spacecraft and you land at that cutscene and you're on top of this Corvette, the very same one I'm flying. If you recall, at that time, you're up here on top and you've landed, and then you kind of like walk over and you jump through here, and then your gravity returns to normal the moment you pass the shield door. So yeah, I believe I can do that. Marquetta Shaman, thank you for another $5. Thank you so much. Angels Fall First, sadly still in early access, made another map separate from the space map for their interior combat. That would be the smart move. That would 100% be the smart move. But the problem is that I would want it to feel connected. I would very much want it to feel connected to to everything. But maybe I'll consider doing something like that, because realistically it would be really badass. Like, what if you had ship-to-ship combat, right? Or like there's one Corvette and then there's one frigate, and you're just like firing at each other and you're dealing damage to each other, and the goal is you have to like board the ship, and if you get close enough it teleports you into the interior, and then if the enemies want to, they can destroy like a reactor core or something, and if they destroy that reactor core it blows this ship up and they win the round, whereas the other single ship has to do the same thing where they have to be boarded, you have to go inside, it teleports you into a separate map, and then in that map you have to destroy the reactor core. But like technically the ships could fight each other and blow each other's up that way. But also, on top of that, the quickest way to kill the other ship and win the round would be to actually board it, and that would be like the actual objective, because nobody wants to wait 10 minutes for the little pea shooter weapons to slowly pelt each other to death. Where is his webcam? Oh yeah, I'm not sick anymore. Let me turn the webcam on. Well, I mean, I am still sick, but like I'm not as sick. I'm feeling a little bit better today. Still a little bit of coughing, still a little bit of sniffles, but I kind of owned my sickness, not even gonna lie. Like, I'm feeling pretty good about it. So you want it like Star Wars Battlefront 2 Classic? Yeah, exactly. Also, to anybody drinking coffee at this insanely late hour, that's pretty good. Fighters on this map, maybe you have to speed them up for a bit and they'd be fun, especially if there's weak points on the ships for them to attack. Yeah, if I add weak points to the ships, and that would make fighters a lot more viable, because obviously with big guns like Mac cannons that are hard to aim, chances are you're not really going to be hitting those weak points often, unless I add like specific lock-on areas. The capital ships are static in Battlefront 2. You know what I could do? I could do in a game mode like Invasion or Assault. But yeah, maybe I'll just make like reactors where if you blow them up, it makes the round end. That would be kind of cool. What did you decide to do with the Spirit of Fire? Will you add it? Yeah, so I am going to add it, and my backup right now is that I'm going to buy that Spirit of Fire model, because Demon sent over like 90 bucks, and I was like, screw it. Demon sent, he came out of nowhere and slapped the fucking money on the table. I was like, so I'm definitely going to do that. But on the off chance that the Sins of the Prophets guys respond to me, I haven't sent them the message yet. I wanted to do it before stream, but I was like busy setting up and didn't get to it. But the Sins of the Prophets guys actually like retweeted my Pillar of Autumn tweet where I was showing off flying it, and they followed me, I think. And I'm gonna DM them, and I just like, out of curiosity, I doubt they'll do it. I doubt they will, but I'm gonna DM them, ask them what their policy is and how their artists feel and everything about their ships being used outside of Sins of the Prophets. And on the off chance that they can, I will ask them if I can use their ships for my mod to make like a fully authentic Halo Reach space battle experience with their extremely, extremely high quality space vehicles. But if they definitely won't let you use it. I don't think they will. I'm not going to lie. I don't think they will. But I'm going to ask anyway, because I don't want to just like leave it up in the air. And I'll ask in like a realistic sense. I'll be like, I know you probably don't want to, but I figured I'd ask, kind of thing. But yeah, and so I assume they'll say no, which is why I'm probably just going to end up buying the Spirit of Fire model off of, what was it, Sketchfab? I forget where, but that, whatever that was, I have it like pulled up somewhere, and I'll probably end up getting that. And maybe some other ships too, who knows. Rejected, what would happen if two ships collided? They would, either one or both would explode like instantly. I'm not going to make it so that you can like just bump ships into each other. I feel like it's so weird to like two ships of this size and speed hit each other. In real physics, those ships are crushed instantly. The amount of energy a ship of this size has at high speeds is insane. That's so much kinetic energy. It is ridiculous. They are going to die instantly, and that is final. They would be so unrealistic if they didn't. And here we have the Pillar of Autumn, or the Halcyon class light cruiser. Let's add physics to those ships. How about that? They do have physics. Oh, you mean like walking on top of them physics. I could do that. That's pretty easy. But they don't have interiors right now, so it would be kind of pointless. And Green Knight has been a member for 6 months. Add more emotes. True. Fuck, I need to add more emotes. That's something I don't think about often, but you're right. Didn't I ask people for like good emotes to add not that long ago? I swear I did. Hey, if you guys are on my Discord server, go into general chat and put an emoji or an emote that you would like to see in the stream, and I'll totally add it. Like if I like it. If I like it, I'll add it. I'm really shit at coming up with them, so now I'm just like bumming it off onto you guys. I'm like, I'm terrible at this. If you could just show me some cool ones, I'll totally throw them into the stream, and then members can use them in YouTube chat. If you add the interior for the Pillar of Autumn, you should consider adding the Chief and the Cryopod as the Easter egg. I could do that. I would be interested in it because as awful as it would be to set up all those materials, it would be cool to have like the authentic Halo CE interior in some form or another. Rejected, seriously, check DMs. I just had a brain blast moment. Okay, okay, I'll check. Ooh, okay, you know what, Skaboodly? Skaboodly just DM'd me a really interesting idea about this mod. And I was actually thinking about this earlier because I noticed that with the Mac Cannon, because it's like not a separate vehicle, it can only realistically aim straight like that. God, that sounds so good. Just one more time for effect. Beautiful. So it can only aim straight because it's such a large vehicle that the weapons are kind of screwed up. But get this. Here, let me read Skaboodly's idea first. He says, idea. Point defense turrets, aka all the turrets that are located around this vehicle in the frigate. Point defense turret could work as a secondary trigger if you have a million secondary trigger markers and crank the auto aim so high they just attack anything in sight. Literally could work. Literally could work. Here's my idea that's very similar. I was thinking about this before stream. Instead of just making it a secondary trigger, what I could do is I could make an entire second vehicle where the vehicle itself is like 10 turrets, but it's all one vehicle. And I just animate all of the looking and aiming animations to make it look like all of the turrets are looking and aiming at the same place. Or it could be like 2 vehicles, like 1 for each side. And essentially, they all just animate and act as a single unit. And like the animations would kind of make it look convincing. Like each turret would have a couple bones for like, you know, rotating up and down and like looking around. So yeah, long story short, it would be like 2, maybe 3 vehicles. And like the 2 side vehicles would be big collections of turrets and they have just like a bunch of areas to shoot from. And then maybe like a 3rd vehicle that's like the bottom and top turrets. And then that would be like all of the attachments used up because you can only have 3 in a multiplayer game. But yeah, I think that would be sick. I got the idea from the Sparrowhawk cannons I'm working on the moment. Oh yeah, I bet you had to do like a bunch of vehicle weapon shenanigans. Why no make the frigate Pillar of Autumn and cruiser? What do you mean? I did make them. It would be amazing to walk inside of them and have a vehicle bay. I agree, but I don't know if it would actually work. It would probably be pretty glitchy. I'm going to give it a try with the Corvette. I'll try it in a Corvette, and I'll test it in a multiplayer game, and I'll see if it's any good. If it is any good, I'll probably do it. But I have this sneaking suspicion that it's not going to work that well. Make a Space Falcon? I have no clue how it would work. No, probably not. I'll probably just keep the Saber. Yeah, I'll keep the Saber and the Seraph. Good enough for me. And then I'm now of the opinion that in Star Wars Battlefront style, I want to have a UNSC Infinity and a CAS class. Both are around the same size. This being like a super carrier. And the UNSC Infinity somewhere like way over there. And then everything else seems to render like perfectly well. Call it a day. What about a longsword with your old space nukes? Oh, yeah. See, I like nukes a lot, and there's a great space nuke I want to make for Reach, but the problem is that, like, if I do that, it's going to be so OP. But here's an idea I had, okay? Here's an idea. You know how in Halo Reach, in Invasion, whenever you're playing Invasion in Reach, you can carry like the big bomb. That's one of the objectives that you can have, where you just carry a giant bomb to an objective and it blows up. Or I think it's like a power core or something. Imagine that. Imagine you have to carry the giant bomb from campaign, the one that George uses to take down the super carrier. And if you get the objective, you hit it and it detonates, then it detonates like a literal slip space nuke and it just destroys everything inside of it. I think that would be sick. So I'm very heavily considering doing that. Scale down the nuke damage and make the fire recovery time like 60 seconds. You could even attach a heat meter, which has a cooldown when you can launch another nuke. Yeah, I still want to do that on huge grass as well. I definitely need to. Like, look how cool this is. Like, a frigate could be moving past you, and you're just sitting here, like, firing on it in a space fighter, and it's just going, just flying past. Like, damn, that would be so sick. Hold on, let me refresh the map really quickly. Like, these vehicles are going to fall because the moment I render their physics, they all just, like, start hitting gravity. But, wait, can I turn gravity down on the map by default, or do I need, like, a zone for that? Let me see if I can turn gravity down on the map. I have no idea how it works, but maybe I can do that? I'm not really sure how they do it in campaign. Maybe it's scripts, actually. I bet it's a scripting thing now that I think about it. Gravity's in the scenario file per BSP. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. That makes sense. Anyway, look at this visual right here, okay? You're on the Covenant side. You got yourself a Seraph. You're flying over. Hit up the frigate. It starts, like, moving downwards. You're just, like, dodging it. Dodging out of the way. Oh, so sick. Just, like, mobile combat in space is going to be so fucking cool. Could you make it possible to intercept enemy projectiles before they hit their targets? Yeah, that's possible. They could be called crate projectiles, which are projectiles that are literally objects. Modded Gamer. Oh, let me just move my Streamlabs OBS up and down so I can see more. Modded Gamer, thank you so much for the $3 tip. I really appreciate that. Speaking of Star Wars Battlefront 2, you should add some points on the ship that can disable parts of the ship, like shields, turrets, engines, etc. I know the campaign mission had similar, but it was probably scripted, so it would be pretty cool. Yeah, no, that's also possible. In damage states, you can make damage states like destroy certain attachments and things, which could be like weapons or various other things. And there might even be, I don't know if I might have to change the vehicle physics type, but I'm pretty sure I can do error states, which basically say like the vehicle is now slower or has less control. I'm not sure if I can do it with the current vehicle type I'm using for the frigate and stuff, but maybe. But yeah, stuff like that is possible. You could disable weapons. And Ray, thank you for the $5 tip. Thank you so much. After stream or another time, you think you can check my DMs? Just want to know if there's anything I can use to help with my Pelican thingy? Anything I can use to help? Yeah. If you write the same name on Discord, I will accept and see what you said. I'm just like trying to get a feel for it. Like imagine you're just like lighting this thing up. Zooming past the frigate, it's trying to rotate. It can't catch you because you're too small of a target. But it's trying to use like its side turrets to lock onto you. I am going to have to add shields to the Covey ships, by the way. For sure. Is it just me or does the Seraph effect come out blowing to the right? It does, actually. This Seraph won't have this effect on this map because this is the in-atmosphere Seraph. And obviously, we're not in atmosphere. So that's just not even going to be there. But also, I need to make that effect better for the in-atmosphere variant because it's not great. It's really not great. Saber, I think, is already pretty good. Like, I don't have many complaints. Also, isn't it cool that it just has, like, fully working landing gear? Like, I know you technically do land on the Corvette in-game, so it makes sense that it has it, but, you know, that's pretty cool. I like landing gear. Pretty rad. Space Banshee and Space Phantom? Good point, actually. I haven't spawned those in the map yet. Let me add those. Add type vehicle. Here. So I'll add in, I have the Space Banshee, not this one. I have my own version, Space Banshee Multiplayer, which is all set up with the shaders and lights and everything, and then Space Phantom FLYABLE, which I believe I set up like a couple months ago, actually, when I briefly hopped on Reach modding tools for the first time. So here's the Space Banshee, pretty rad. And then Space Phantom, which should be pretty slow, all things considered. Very nice looking, though. Love both of these vehicles. I'm going to have to touch up the Space Phantom quite a bit, because I can't have these turrets, this many turrets in multiplayer. They just straight up won't work. So I might have to, like, combine them into a custom vehicle or something. However, Space Banshee, on the other hand, works great. No complaints there. So, I know Imperator in his mod ages ago did a thing where players spawned in and they were like, I think they were like Space Banshees or Seraphs or other stuff instead of players, which is kind of smart. But I would like to leverage the fact that there are UNSC Spartans and players in this mod and try to roll with that. Boost. All the space vehicles are a lot faster relative to the environment. There's so much space to traverse, they have to be faster. Yeah, this thing is super quick. Super, super quick. Pow! And I'm dead. This thing needs a new camera track. I cannot aim or see shit. It is so big. It's so slow. What the fuck? I'm literally boosting right now and it's so slow. Ah, yes. The most powerful vehicle in all of Halo's space arsenal. The Space Phantom. Watch in awe. Have you made the CSO Supercarrier yet? No, that CSO Supercarrier is not real. It's just your imagination. Number Company and Bungie have lied to you. There is no CSO Supercarrier. Or wait, which one's the bigger one? CAS or CSO? I forget. Wish there was a Space Spirit. That would be cool. It's called the Phantom Gunboat and not the Space Phantom. Yeah, but the files call it. Oh, CSO is the bigger one? Yeah. Let me ask you guys this, because this is not a call out to you specifically who just asked this question, but this is a general, real question. Why does anyone think that having a CSO is a good idea? Like, I want you to just, like, close your eyes for a second. Imagine you're in a space map and you're driving a CSO carrier. You are like 30 times bigger than everything else around you, and they are all like 1 pixel big on your screen. I want you to imagine a way in which that works, because I'm trying right now and I can't do it. Because it's cool? How is it cool? You can't see anything. Culture Desert, thank you so much for becoming a 7-month member on the Covenant tier. Very, very appreciative. Thank you, thank you. Act as the invasion base that gets defended. That's what I want to do with the CAS over here. So that's a CAS. I might just do the Long Night of Solace because this one's kind of weird and glowy. Although I do like the aesthetic of that. So I'll probably do, yeah, this one up here will be like one base and you start there, and I'll probably redo this model so that I can so you can go inside of it. I have a version of it with like a hangar that I can slap in there. And then I can just make it so you can like hit a button and it'll spawn you in a big ship underneath here, and you know, etc, etc. When did Reach Halo mod? Yeah, when did Reach modules come out? They've been out for like A year? 6 months plus for sure. Literally the #1 reason navies make bigger ships is so they can fit more guns on them. Based. I like that the CSO, or sorry, the CSO is just a Covey Super Star Destroyer. Yes, I know it's literally the same model scaled up, but the principle is the same. It is, but, you know, all I'm going to say is, if the CSO was not just... you want to see? This is why I'm bothered that the CSO exists. This is why I talk about it. This is the amount of effort that coming up with the CSO was, all right? This is a CAS class assault carrier. It's big. It's a really big ship. Here's another one. Here's 2 of them, in fact. They're very big. Would you like to see what a CAS carrier, sorry, would you like to see what a CSO super carrier looks like? All right, I'm going to give you a hint. It looks a lot like the CAS. Are you ready for this? Wait for it. Wait for it. That's what it looks like. It's so big, it doesn't even render in the map. Like, that's the Pillar of Autumn right there. That's the Pillar of Autumn, okay? That's the CSO. Why? Why? Why do you guys want that? That's horrible. I was not joking when I said that you would be, everything else on the map would be pixels on a screen. And also, this is just my opinion, all right, with peace and love. I think the idea that they took a cool ship like the CAS and then they just made it 10 times bigger and we're like, it's a different ship. Like, there are so many problems with that, not only in the lore, but like just in a realistic physics sense, in a design sense, in like, imagine you're like in a Covenant factory in the Halo universe, like place yourself there. We need a massive ship. And they go, what if we took the exact same ship and we just made it 10 times bigger? Like, okay, if you're going to make a ship like that, now you have to design the interiors of the rooms to be like 10 times more condensed, and you have to, like, why even do the same size of the ship? You would want to design something completely new. The fact that, all that tells me is that the CSO makes no sense. It was literally like my assumption, I don't actually have evidence of this, but I believe that the super carrier, the Covenant big ship, some way Bungie was making the games, and then some issue happened where they were like, oh shit, we said it's actually like 30 times bigger than the old one, or it's like 10 times bigger, and they were like, but we said they look the same as well, and they were like, shit, just put it in the lore, man. Just say in the lore that there's 2 ships that look the same, but one is 10 times bigger. And then the lore guys are like, that makes no fucking sense. Like, why? And then they're like, just do it. And they're like, okay, fine. There's 2 ships that are the same different size because you fucked up. And they're like, yeah, we did fuck up, but you write the lore so you can fix it and just say that's how it is. Like, it makes no sense. It makes no fucking sense. So in my headcanon is that the CSO does not look like this. It's way cooler and it's different and it's way bigger. And this is only the CAS. That's my headcanon. It makes me happy. Because otherwise it's just silliness. This man complains about the CSO and the Mantle's approach is way larger. So the problem with the CSO isn't the size. I think a ship of that size is badass. That's super dope. The problem is that it's a fucking carbon copy of this. And it's so obvious that it was just a fuck up somewhere along the line, and then they just had to stick to their guns. Shiro, it's so good to see you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for the 2. Is that my favorite mother I see? Maybe. Maybe. Well, then model a copy and add stuff to it? I don't think I will. I'm not a very good 3D modeler. I would not do justice to that. Is it possible to make a hangar that's not in the ship, but on the outside of the map? Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. Or I actually answered your question already, I think, Dark Bolt. But yeah, I said that is possible. It just would be, like, not very smooth. But yeah, no, totally possible. I could attach some teleporters onto the ship. I can make it so, like, if you fly a ship into here, like, you'll enter the interior. Probably not on this ship, because it's not really made for that. But, like, a bigger ship, yeah. I think the cruiser has hangars, right? Yeah, there's like hangars right here on the cruiser. You can get in there, get in and out. Speaking of the cruiser, we're making the cruiser today. I've already been live for 40 minutes just chit-chatting and flying these ships and having a good time, but that is the plan for today. We're going to make the cruiser. I'm going to add like a glassing beam onto it. I'll probably add the glassing beam as the only weapon on the cruiser for right now. But that is only because I haven't decided on the full-on weapon sets for all these vehicles. And the one thing I know is that even if I don't actually end up using the glassing beam on the cruiser, it'll be cool to have, and it looks really badass, and I can make a video about it because everybody loves a good glassing beam. Add a gun that shoots banshees. Didn't you suggest that, Abyss? Like, you or somebody else suggested that like ages ago. Like, literally years ago, I swear. The design being similar fits with the Covenant system of governance. It's a very dogmatic, hegemonic theocracy with a strict caste system. No, that's copium. That's literally copium. There are so many different Covenant ship designs. Literally go into the Sins of the Prophet models and take a look at everything. There are so many different ship designs. It's saying that it's because they're strict and theocratic, or like that's copium, man. That's not even related. That's it. I promise you, it literally was just a slip up at Bungie. It makes so much sense. There are so many different ship designs. That is 100% copium. God, the Pillar of Autumn's so sexy. Okay, I don't want to spend too much time flying around. I mean, I do. I really enjoy this. What doesn't want to go through the dog and pony show? Some priest throwing a fit because their new design had a too sharp angle. I don't even know what that means. That's like fan fiction. I'm just telling it how it is. With peace and love, there are tons of great Covenant designs. Tons of them. So many amazing ones. All varied and different. The fact of the matter is the fact that the super carrier, the CSO, is the identical design is literally ridiculous. And I'm not going to pretend like it's not. I got a sore in my mouth. Ow. Redesign the CSO. I'm not a very good designer, frankly. I wouldn't do it as much justice as I'd like. Derp, thank you so much for the $3 tip. Really appreciate that. The CVP class Heavy Destroyer would be a better fit for the mod than the CSO. The CVP class Heavy Destroyer. I swear we saw that yesterday. Let me look that up really quick. CVP class Destroyer. Scenarios pattern. Heavy Destroyer. Oh my god, yes. I love this ship. And here, let me put it up on screen. I love this ship. It is such a badass design. I've always wanted to have it in game. I believe this model, yeah, it's from Sins of the Prophets, and they have an updated one for Sins of the Prophets 2 as well. And also, on top of that, this is one of the only other ships that like, I assume Sins of the Prophets guys don't want me to use their models, which is totally fair. I respect it, and it makes perfect sense. But this is one of the other ships that I can actually get my hands on, because there's another $100 model available on, I believe, Sketchfab for this. It's not the best quality model everywhere, ever, but it's pretty darn good, and I would be more than happy to settle for using it. I like it quite a bit. So I'll probably get this in the mod one way or another. It's so cool. Like, it's so weird looking, but I like it a lot. Like, it's one of those things where nobody's ever like done it before. Like, the only time you ever get to like, even see one is in like trailers and random cutscenes and like lore backup videos, and then like Sins of the Prophets. That's the only other piece of Halo media that you can actually play that I think has this ship in it, and it's a cool looking ship too. So I want to get it. This mod will have that one way or another. It's just the auto turret thing with the Sparrowhawk. If you crank the auto aim angle way up, it basically turns into an AI turret. Does it? But does it know to shoot your enemies, or is it just like trigger happy for anything that's not it? Because I don't want to accidentally start nailing my teammates with auto turrets. The shape of it screams ship destroyer. Yeah. Actually. I think it's based on teams. I'll have to check it out. But I'd very much like for that to work. Shiro, thank you for the $5. Much appreciated. Also, once again, good to see you. CVP originally came from Halo Wars, I'm pretty sure. Oh. I could believe it. I could believe it. I can't recall seeing it before Halo Wars, but I really like its design. It's super cool. Why is Huge Grass not on Steam? I'm just not done with it. I've been very busy lately, like more than I usually am. So I haven't been modding as much. Most of the time, I'm like out doing stuff like right now. I was like a huge no life before, but now I don't know. I'm busy. I live in a house. I have a roommate. I'm doing shit all the time, so... And especially the last week, I was just like out at events with a bunch of friends who came into town, so I haven't really had time to sit down and no life modding for a little bit, which is why my burnout is like gone, because I've just not touched modding for a while. But I will be I was actually thinking about it earlier today. I'm gonna finish Huge Grass off stream over the next week and get it released, and probably swap out another Reach stream for a Huge Grass playtest. For sure, because I need to do another playtest. That way I can make sure that all the gameplay elements are down. Things that need to be able to be boarded work, like hijacking, I mean, and things that destroy or get destroyed have good like values, that weapon balance is good, all that stuff. I still have a list of things I need to go through from the last Huge Grass playtest. I've only gotten through like a handful of them. I just checked it. It doesn't attack allies, at least green reticles. AI allies? Okay, but does that AI... Does it have its own team, or does it just respond to your team? Because in Reach, in Halo 3 that might work, but in Reach it won't. Because I don't think it's like multiplayer compatible. What do you think of naming this map? The internal name I have for it right now is just Space Castle, because originally I was going to have some kind of massive space structure in the center, but... I don't know. Good question. I haven't decided on a name yet. I'm open to suggestions, though. The JMM class? JMM is a model animation type, that's all I know for sure. That's not even a real thing. I just looked it up. Joe Mama. That was... I want to say you got me, but that was a little weak. I won't even lie. It's okay. It wasn't bad. Yeah, it was a little bad, but whatever. Gotta try harder than that. James Turner with the $10 super chat. Thank you very much. For your generous super chat. Appreciate it. Put like a chunk of high charity floating in the middle to be your castle. That would be cool. Okay, here's what I'm thinking. The only other space mod I have for reference is Imperator's space mod from like ages ago, which was really fucking cool. And he had it like in a halo ring with like asteroids. And what I'm thinking is permanent ship debris floating around, probably asteroids around as well. Big ones, small ones, but not too many because I don't want people accidentally crashing into them and fucking dying. But yeah, I'm going to probably do just a lot of space debris and stuff. And then if I can think of like a cool permanent destroyed ship, like maybe... No, I probably can't do anything related to a CSO, let's be real. Anything related to a CSO would just be way too big. So probably not that. And then... if I can think of a cool setting, I'll add something massive out here in space. Maybe like a destroyed... orbital defense platform similar to Cairo Station from Halo 2. That would be cool. Might not be big enough though. Cairo Station wasn't... I don't think it's that big that it would be like a set piece. I think it would be about... like it'd probably be smaller than the Pillar of Bottom, so that wouldn't really work. Also another problem I have to figure out is how to render the skybox a bit differently, because as of right now, this is what's cool about this skybox is no matter where you fly to, it follows you perfectly. But also because it's at a fixed distance, there is like a fixed level at which things render under it. So if I go up, the skybox also goes up, which means it de-renders things. So I'm gonna have to figure out a way to get around that. Because the skybox, by following the camera permanently, is just always doing that. Also, another thing I want to try to do, theoretically possible, let me show you. This is actually really fucking cool. There's another skybox in the game that does something I really want. But the problem with it is it's not a 360-degree skybox. So let me find it. Levels, multi, space castle, scenario. So what I want to do is steal a different skybox and see if I can't find out. So right now we're using the Corvette skybox from the mission, but the best one I saw was the Orbit skybox. Check this out. From what I remember, Cairo is about the same size as the Pillar of Autumn. Oh, I crashed. Okay. Love that. Let's reopen it. Two pieces of CSO on two edges of the map and play space where the slipspace bomb blew up. The thing is, though, that wasn't a CSO, I don't think. Was it? Maybe, no, that was a CSO. I have to go back and watch the cutscene, but I think that was just a regular CAS assault carrier. Yeah, it was. It was. Okay, so this is what I was talking about here. This skybox is really cool. So it's not following you all the time. But the problem is it's square, like it doesn't look like it loops onto infinity. Only in this direction it looks like that. You can see like the edge of the world there. But what's cool is that it has a full-on atmosphere, like with cloud layers. Like obviously you don't want to actually go all the way down here, like you wouldn't want to, but like you could theoretically be flying around through different layers of clouds and like be in like low orbit, which sounds kind of sick. And I was trying to think about if there was any way I could realistically make it work so that it would feel like you could go into orbit and have like orbital battles, but also be on the ground. But I just don't think it's possible in like without like a ton of custom artwork. And I'm not a very good artist. And I'm doing this project by myself. So it doesn't feel super viable. James Turner, thank you very much for the tanner. Much appreciated. That's very generous of you. What about the broken pieces from the mining facility in Halo 2 when you fight the heretics? Oh, on the gas giant. That's not a bad idea, but those are Forerunner structures. That's the only issue. I don't know if Forerunner structures work so much. Did you make it so that if you hold a button down on the keyboard, you can move your camera without the ship orientation changing? Unfortunately, no. I don't believe that's possible in the Halo engine. Oh wait, there's something I want to do. Notice my engines are completely off right now. That's bothering me. I'm going to really quickly fix that so that they never completely turn off while you're in the driver's seat. So objects, vehicles, rejected shotgun, frigate, and then I'm just going to go into the vehicle tag. The function that controls the thrusting of the engines and like the movement is called engine RPM, and that's like built in. So all I'm going to do really quickly is add in a new one where it grabs engine RPM. I'm going to call it frigate engine. There's going to be a new function called frigate engine. And I'm also going to make it turn off when you're not in the driver's seat by having it turn off with driver's seat power. And then instead of it just going from 0 all the way to 1, the minimum this can be at is like a 0.1 right here. So even when you're completely stopped, the engines will never be off. They'll be like just above off, still lit up, still just barely there. So now, now that I made that function, I can go to every part of the engine effect right here and switch them out for my new function so they never fully turn off anymore. They'll always be just a little bit on at 0.1. Okay, and then that should be good. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. The engines are always at like 0.1 thrust now, which is cool. We're going in through the cloud layers. We're dropping in. Like, how cool would it be to have like a map that's actually this big with like terrain everywhere? God, I kind of want to try that now. Would that be worth it? Just making an entire map where you go from ground to orbit and it's not just space? That makes Reach look insanely tiny. I mean, yeah, this whole skybox is just a perspective trick. Look at that. The deceleration on up and down is so weak that I'm just going to keep on falling for a while. Break through the cloud layers. Ooh, pull up, pull up. Ooh, I saved it. Just barely. Oh, not quite, not quite. Whew. Okay, now I saved it. Let's see. Silver Pikachu, thank you for the $5 super chat. Much appreciated. I don't know why I didn't render your super chat in YouTube chat, but I see what you wrote. You said name suggestions. Okay, these are good name suggestions. Last Stand, One Final Effort, Reach Out, Space Case. Space Case sounds kind of cool. Splash 1, Standoff. Also, do the larger spacecrafts have side gunner seats? I'm considering adding the side gunner seats, but as of right now, no, they don't. But maybe in the future. I'm not 100% sure how many ships I want in this, if I want them to be like harder to get or if I want everyone to have a ship at the same time. So depending on if I want just massive scale space battles with tons of ships or just a few ships where everybody kind of has to pile into them, I'll make my decision based on that. So yeah, it'll depend. It'll depend. And Dayton Newberger with the $5. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I don't know if you meant to send to chat, but if you did. Oh, you said, I think it's worth, but the question is, how do you optimize it and make it make sense with engine limitations and player count limitations? So the maximum players that I'll ever be able to have on here is 16. That's just how it is. Why am I going upwards? Did I? Hold on. I think I might have forgotten to redo the physics on going up and down. Oh yeah, slide left, slide right. Rise acceleration and decent. Weird. But yeah, to answer your question a little bit more, player count will always be locked at 16, so I'll always need to work around the 16 player limit there. Just is what it is. But that is doable. That is doable. It'd be cool if it was a system where you get 5 kills, you would get like 500 points and can spawn a new bigger ship. I could theoretically do something like that. Weird, now the physics on the ship are good again. I don't understand. Am I going to scale down the vehicles? I don't think I have to. I actually don't think I have to scale down the ships at all. Which I'm grateful for, because then I'd have to scale down all the effects and that would take a while, and I'm kind of lazy when it comes to minor details. So thankfully I probably don't. But that said, I could, and that would allow me to do some interesting stuff and make way larger scale maps, like way bigger. But I actually think this scale is pretty alright. I do. I certainly can't complain. Also, damn, the Corvette in this lighting looks good. What the fuck? It's a good-looking Covenant ship right there. Sheesh. I hope the ship sizes are canonically accurate. Why? Why does everyone want that? I don't understand why everyone wants that. I'm so confused. Why does everyone want canonically accurate ship sizes? It doesn't matter. They're close enough. Don't you want gameplay to be fun? Shouldn't that be the most important thing? But everybody always says that. They're like, I hope it's gonna be accurate, like, but that's not fun. It's just not fun. If they're canonically accurate, like, the Covenant win every time. It's like, if I make it a Covenant versus UNSC thing and the ship's sizes are canonically accurate, the UNSC side will lose every single time. Without fail. I have to balance for gameplay. It is simply the way of the world. However, if you do want canonically accurate space battles, go ahead and place Into the Prophets. Very good mod. You will have to throw like 1,000 UNSC ships at like one supercarrier in order to win. Very accurate, very lore accurate. I mean, in the lore, they lose every single time anyway. Exactly. It's not a fair fight. It is totally not a fair fight. Just give the UNSC like 20 more ships. I don't know if people will find that fun. I don't think that is a very enjoyable experience. I don't think you said that really thinking about what it would feel like on the UNSC side there. Hey, kitty. Hey. Hey. Like, I feel so, like, I feel like I must sound so, like, annoying and holier than thou saying these things, being like, no, I'm right, you're wrong. But, like, I genuinely feel so strongly about this. Like, these suggestions and the lore accuracy focus is not a good idea. It is just straight up not a good idea. I cannot entertain it in a realistic sense. There are things from the lore that I want to get accurate as best I can. For example, the weapons on the ships. Things like the Pillar of Autumn here having a triple Mac cannon, which it was retrofitted with. That's cool and fun. It also separates... Why did I crash? I have no idea. But it also separates it from the other ships. Like, it works in gameplay and in lore. Very cool. Love that. But there are so many other things where it's just like, man... what I'm doing is game development. I'm not writing a novel. I can't stick everything correctly. I don't have that freedom. This has to be fun to play. And while I respect that you guys are very, like for those of you who really like the lore, I hope that I don't sound like a butthole with this. But I am restricted here, and I have to think about what is possible, what is fun, and what is good. Do the ships have destroyed models? The frigate does. The frigate does. For all the other ships, I will be making separate giant chunks of destruction for them. Which will honestly be a pretty good time. I'm looking forward to that. I feel like I've been scammed. There is no cruiser beam. You're right. There isn't a cruiser beam. I've been hanging out for the longest time. It's been like an hour of just messing about and talking and theorizing about the mod and lore stuff. So you know what? Fair point. Let's move on to the cruiser. It's about time we get a working glassing beam. So let me pull the cruiser over. Where is it? There it is. Units, scenery. Okay, here, the cruiser. So there is already, as you probably know, a glassing beam effect in Reach from the final mission, and also like in New Alexandria. You can see it in the distance, but you really see it. Actually, no, you mostly see it in New Alexandria. Anyway, this is going to sound really egotistical, but I actually don't like the glassing beam effect in Reach all that much. The sound effect is god tier, like fucking S tier sound effect. The effect itself, like I said, this is going to sound really egotistical, but I think the one I made in Halo 3 actually looks better. And that was a surprise to me, because it had been so long since I saw the Reach one. And I was like, okay, I'm going to be put to shame. My Halo 3 one's going to look super shitty in comparison. But man, I'm not even going to lie. The one that I spent a bunch of time on in 3 actually is so fucking sexy. Like, I know that's so egotistical to say, but like, the Reach one, and don't get me wrong, the Reach one is good. It looks good. But I kind of want to like redesign this, because in all fairness, if Bungie went all out with this and wanted it to be like a close-up important visual effect, I have no doubt in my mind it would have been 10 times better than the one I made. But the one that is in Reach is a distant effect and is not necessarily intended to be viewed up close. So that being said, it's not exactly the most insanely high quality and detailed effect, but I'll show it to you right now. So I made an effect for it under the cruiser. So here I attach it to this. There we go. That being said, the impact, yeah, like it's clearly an effect that you're supposed to see distantly, right? So that's why I don't feel bad about saying the one I made in Halo 3 is better, because like, this is cool at a distance, but is very clearly only meant to be seen at a distance. Derp, thank you so much for the $3 tip. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I feel like the MAC rounds from the Pillar of Autumn and larger UNSC ships should be beefed up in size and sound to differentiate it from the mass driver. Maybe. I actually don't mind it necessarily. I kind of like how they work, but I also agree that the MAC cannon on the Pillar of Autumn should at least be differentiated. I actually don't mind reusing the same assets from the mass driver on the frigate, for example. I actually feel like it fits pretty darn well there, but maybe on the Pillar of Autumn I'll switch it up. I don't know though. I'll see. That's a fair point. Fair point. And I'll think about it. But that is a polished step, which I will keep in mind. But for now, probably just going to focus on making everything work in a general sense, and then worry a bit more about that stuff later on. But true. Silver Pikachu, thank you for the 2. Your talent is insane. Keep up the good work. Yeah, it's mid, but thank you. I very much appreciate it. And Dayton Newberger with the 10er. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. As a game designer, I agree that harmonizing any type of lore and gameplay is a challenge. Best of luck here, though, amigo, and keep up the good work. Thank you very much. It is a bit challenging, and I appreciate that you can relate. But it is something that must be done. I think I probably will make a better glassing beam effect at some point, reusing many of these assets, but also just like making them better. But for now, I'm just going to straight up use this one. So let me clear the glassing effect off of that. And we have to start by making the cruiser flyable. We're going to get a nice view like this of the cruiser. This is going to be nice. Also, I don't know if I will actually use it, but I'm going to make a flyable supercarrier. Or not supercarrier, assault carrier. So we'll be flying this thing as well. Like I said, I have no idea if I'll actually use it in gameplay, but I want to make it, and that's what's important, because I think it's cool. So, cruiser. First things first, I'm going to snag the cruiser. Abyss and I just tested the auto turret thing does not attack teammates in multiplayer. The solution is viable. Oh shit, no shot. Okay, I'm going to press you for details on that later if you're busy right now, but that is very good to know. Oh my goodness. Sorry, water. So good. Document a project. I'm going through my PC right now. I'm getting Reclaimer open. I always talk about Reclaimer because it's an amazing community-made application. But this here, switch over. This here is Reclaimer. Reclaimer is a fantastic program made by Gravemind, 2401, I think. And it is very, very cool. So I'm going to go to my Halo Master Chief Collection folder under Halo Reach, Maps. I'm going to open up, fuck it, I'll open up this map. This is Long Night of Solace, M45. I'm free tonight and all this weekend. If you want to go play test the Sparrowhawk, I just got the side cannons working. Oh, bet. I might actually do that. Cruiser. Render model. Look at that. Look at that, the cruiser. Oh yeah, and it comes with the destroyed belly variant. I won't be using the destroyed variant for now, though. Just this one. Looks good, though. Alright, I'm going to take this cruiser, and I am going to export selected geometry. And I'm going to export this out to... Might have to make a new folder for it under my Halo Reach editing kit folder. Let's go to models, make a new folder here. Cruiser. So here I'm going to have to save it as an AMF and an OBJ. I think I explained my method for getting a like high quality version of the models out, but basically you do an OBJ and an AMF. Let me open up Blender and get it set up there really quickly, and I'll show you guys the process. It works pretty well. So, first thing I do, I import this with 3ds Max units, the AMF, and then I have to zoom the hell out. And there it is, the cruiser. But you might notice it looks disgusting and blob-like. That's actually not what it's supposed to look like. And that's where a handy trick comes in. So first and foremost, I need to import a model that actually has a working Halo Reach vehicle skeleton. And to do that, hold on, let me append, go you. To do that, I'm actually going to grab the Pillar of Autumn because it works really good. Pillar of Autumn 2. Just going to grab the armature, which is like the bone structure for it. And I'm going to merge it together with the armature of that. Yeah, okay. And so, what I do then is I can delete the original bone. Go to edit mode. Delete the cruiser bone. Delete. And I rename this to B cruiser. Nope, I'm going to keep it B pedestal. And then this is B cruiser here. So basically I'm just going to reformat the bone structure so that everything works goodly. And the bone I'm going to keep is the dummy bone, so I can use this to make an idle animation where it doesn't affect everything. So yeah, anyway, cruiser's here. It's got a nice bone structure. These bones right here are important and necessary for a vehicle to work. This bone is just, I don't know, it's what the model's going to be attached to, so when it flies, this is it. And the dummy bone is going to be used for animation, so that I can move it around without actually doing anything. It's important because technically bones have to move and you need an idle animation for the vehicle to exist, but you don't actually want the idle animation to do anything, so you need a dummy bone. It's stupid, but it is what it is. But now, this thing is gross. Look how fucking lumpy it is and how bad the shading is. I hate it. I want to kill it. But, good news. I can import the OBJ version of this ship. So let me go to my cruiser folder. And wouldn't you notice that? Isn't that crazy? There is an OBJ version of this. So I'm going to import it because I did that earlier. While it is at this scale, while it is this small, I can use the import fix up button. Actually, wait. I don't need to use that. Why doesn't the OBJ already have the fix ups? Don't tell me. There are harsh edges on this, aren't there? This vehicle isn't actually completely lumpy. No, it's not. I can clearly see it's not. Okay, okay. I see you. Interesting. Better solution. I'm going to first set up the entire scene in Halo Reach. This is a Halo Reach scene. Set unit scale to Halo Reach. Save. We're going to save this under Models, Cruiser. Cruiser. Everything is set up wonderfully now for the cruiser to look good, be spicy. I think now that the unit size of everything has been changed, the fix-ups might actually work. So let's try that one more time. Where the fuck are the fucking, what the? Okay, yeah, well, cruiser, OBJ. Let's see if import fix-up works this time. It doesn't. That's okay, because I have another solution. But first I need to set my view to a reasonable amount. Okay, good, good. Scale 0.1. Apply all transforms. Import fix up. There is no way this thing just doesn't have sharp edges. I actually refuse to believe it. But I could be wrong. Let me look in game. Oh my god. I don't think it does. But why? Why? They never marked sharps. It's just big and lumpy. Why would they do that? It's just big and lumpy. The whole thing. Look at that shading. Look how soft it is. It's so lumpy. Why would they do this? Is this not even a sharp edge? Wait, this kind of looks like a sharp edge, actually. But apparently, it's not. Modded Gamer has tipped $3. Thank you very much, Modded Gamer. I appreciate it. I just ordered my new laptop. Congrats, and it will get here Sunday. Finally getting a modern PC that can play most games. Nice. Surprised you went with a laptop, though, instead of a gaming PC, but fair. I have a laptop as well that runs stuff pretty well. It's going to have 16 gigabytes of DDR5. Jesus, an RTX 4060. I'm looking forward to the future game nights I'll be a part of. Well, congrats. Congrats. Just upscale the normal maps and it'll look great. Yeah, I think I'll upscale all the textures, to be honest, because like even the head part is like pretty blurry. From a distance, it looks great, but you'll be getting pretty close up to this thing. But yeah, I'm looking at it, and I'm really not seeing sharps marked anywhere. The times it looks like there's a sharp, I'm going to guess these are actually just separate objects. Yeah, exactly. So, wow, surprising. It's just a big blob. That looks terrible. But hey, you know, it's fine, really. Let me do scale model helper. Blah 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 blah. Okay, we're good. So now I can use the new Halo tool to set regions and permissions or permutations. That's good. Ship looks pretty decent. Pretty good. Weirdly, anywhere that there's whatever. That's fine, probably. Probably not, but probably. Oh, there are some sharps, I think. Ah, whatever. It's fine. So, we're going to take this cruiser. It's got all the materials here. I'm going to go ahead and just make sure that the materials are set up right. So all I have to do is go to the shader finder here, update shader paths, and then goes through the entire folder of all of Halo. Got all the shaders nice and done. I found 8 shaders. Where? There's only 2. Whatever. Anyway, looks good. That's what's important. And now, I can just make stuff work really quickly. So I'm going to call this cruiser, and I'm going to give it a collision model. Watch this. Really brave. Really bold. Collision model done. And then next, I'm going to make a physics model. Also, I'm going to be super lazy with it for now, because we don't need this to be good for the time being. There's its collision model. Don't get close to it. This whole area here, you're going to get bonked into. From here to here, it's going to be a solid wall. So don't push your luck for now, until I make this better. Thought cruisers were white. They were in Halo 2. They were like whitish purple. Bungie just kind of changes the art style all over the place. Just kind of feel like, you know what, let's make it look different. And then all of a sudden, the lore guys have to come in and they have to explain why it's different. Bungie's just like, I thought it looked cooler this way. And the lore guys are like, technically, it's actually a different class. And then Bungie's like, yeah, sure, whatever they said. Okay, I'm going to make an animation for this. That way it will work as a vehicle first try. You mean magenta? Yeah. You right. You right. Alright, here's the idle animation. It's going to be 0 to 4, 0 to 1 to 4. So 4 frames. So we're going to get location and rotation. Then we're going to... Why? No! Where did a new animation come from? How did I fuck that up? Hold on. We're going to view layers. I'm going to go to Blender file, actions, armature, delete. Okay, thank God. That was... I got triggered. I got so triggered. Idle animation. Idle. So on frame 1, location and rotation of this... Oh shit. Of dummy bone. Boom. Frame 3. I move it. I rotate it. And then it does that. Then I copy this. Now I have totally made a really cool animation that is totally valid. So important to do that. Really glad that's a requirement for Reach. God, I'm complaining so much today. My bad. My bad. Alright, so now I export it as a GR2 to the cruiser, or not to the cruiser folder actually. I want to put it in the... Wait, what? Oh, I don't have it in the data folder yet. Whoops. Go there. Go to here. Like a Covenant Cruiser folder. Alright, now I have a place to put this. So it's going to be a Halo Reach model. It's going to be a vehicle tag right off the bat. I'm going to do verbose, and I should be fine to render lighting on it. So let's export this into game. Let's get our cruiser in game already. I do so hate it when Rejected mocks the writers and artists who worked together on those redesigns. I mean, all I'm saying is, wait, what is, oh no. Oh, right, this is the AMF model. Shit, hold on. Okay, I do need to get the OBJ in here. Import. Forgot that AMF models don't work goodly. Oh, wait, the music. The music. Better. AMF models are finally doing something weird. I have no idea. Like, every time I've tried to use an AMF model from Reclaimer, it just like explodes. I'm probably doing something wrong or have like the wrong setup. Maybe I'm because my old FBX tools or something is just like not very happy with it. But it's fine. I make it to work. Besides, the OBJ models end up having better sharps marked and stuff anyway, so I can't complain. I should be using the OBJs anyway. AMFs just don't have the same surface data, so it's kind of pointless. Cool. Alright, now it's good. Covenant Cruiser, Halo Ridge model, vehicle, verbose, import to game. Let's go. We're going fast. We're going fast. We're getting it in game. Have you tried just trying harder? Not even realistic interpretation, just venting the art and lore contradicts itself a lot and that gets in the way of gameplay experiments that Bungie never got around to. Yeah, I mean, because that's the thing. Like, the reason I always say, like you point out to in a mocking tone, is because the priority, this is very clear, the priority during Bungie's time running Halo was like gameplay first. Like, lore, don't get me wrong, was always very important. But gameplay took priority. Clearly, gameplay took priority. And because of that, the lore was always secondary. Like I said, very important, but the lore of the universe was secondary to fun gameplay and good campaign story. And what happened is when 343 picked up the reins, the lore of the universe became way more prioritized. Like, it became way more important. And the reason I find it so silly is now because 343 took that approach, the Halo community as a whole that still follows the game to this day now prioritizes the lore of the universe super heavily. And the problem is there are so many ridiculous, nonsensical things left over from Bungie's time there. So now that the, like, I'm the kind of guy who would rather try and avoid contradictions, and yet there's just so many ridiculous contradictions and silly things left over from that time that I see. Like, I'm subscribed, I don't know why I'm subscribed to this subreddit, but there's like a subreddit called Halo Story. And like, some of the questions on there I just find so silly. Like, so ridiculously silly. Because the answer, like, people ask a question about the lore and I'll be like, oh, obviously that happened because the gameplay was fun. And then somebody will like come in and be like, just give this like insane fan fiction explanation, and I'm just like, what? Sometimes the answer is, well, it was just for the game, let's be real. But they just like come in and then they like set themselves in the universe, and they're like, theoretically what happened was due to this and this, and I'm just like, no, that's what? Guys, like, this is nonsensical. Come on, can we just acknowledge it? Not everything has to work. A lot of things don't work. They don't make sense. So yeah, that's why I take that stance oftentimes. Not because I don't respect it, but it's just, you know, it's just very obviously like not everything works. Leaky mesh. Look how leaky my mesh is. Excuse me. I think some of the writers looked at specific models and wrote the lore off that, not knowing that there's a 1P model scale and a third-person model scale that are vastly different. The Halo Magnum. Yeah, there's a lot of that stuff that's happened. Like, you know what I will say? 343, as long as they've been doing this lore stuff, they've been pretty damn good about it. They prioritize the universe, the Halo universe lore, very heavily. Very, very heavily. And I respect that as well. Like they have actually like whereas Bungie had it to the side, and I would say that was probably the right thing to do, was to make it secondary, and just like have the games follow it, not perfectly, but generally. I think that was better that way. But 343 is, I respect that they like try really like hard, as like, I don't know if it's like their philosophy or whatever. I don't work at 343, but they've managed to stick very closely to the lore, and I think it's very cool that they've actually managed to pull that off. Whoa, this thing is big. All right, we got it in. It was a first try. Didn't even have errors that time. Or well, okay, technically we had one, but I knew why. So you know what? Proud of me for that. I'm getting okay at reach mod tools. Let's go. Oh wait, I don't have a driver's seat for it though. I gotta make a driver's seat. All right, where should I make the driver's seat? Because I'm thinking like here-ish. Glass hole. I want to put it like under the hangar. Wait a minute. The markers are fucked. God damn it. Alright, let's line this up. This looks about right. Okay, not bad, not bad. What is this marker? Impact? What kind of impact? Top explosion? Were these ever utilized in game? Top explosion, impact, head explosion. I don't think there's ever a... Oh, I know what these are. I know what these are. Those are from the final cutscene, I think, where you shoot it and then like a bunch of explosions happen. Okay, yeah, that looks about right. That looks about right. Cool, I think I got the markers fixed. Now that I've done that, I'm gonna take the glass hole marker, duplicate it, set its rotation to all zeroed out. Hopefully that works. I'm going to do the 2 driver seat nodes. So this one will be the driver seat. I'm actually going to put it back behind everything. So this will be the driver seat right up here. And I'll make another one that's slightly below it called driver enter. Halo V Beastie, thank you very much for the $3 tip. I really appreciate that. Off topic, but what is your favorite anime manga? Mine is Samurai Champloo. Cool question, actually. I've watched a lot of anime over the years, so it's a little bit tough for me to answer that one. I'm also not the kind of person where I really have favorites of anything, especially something as diverse and fantastic as like anime, where there's so many good ones to pick from. I would say... Let me think about this one for a second. If I had to pick a favorite anime of all time, I don't think I could, but I could list off a couple decent ones. I've been a fan of Mob Psycho for years. I think it's a very great anime. They recently concluded it, finally, and it was fantastic. Highly recommend that if people are okay with the art style. FX engine. Although it's like basic and mainstream now, I've been a fan of it ever since it first aired. And that was My Hero Academia. Very fun anime. I loved it since episode 1. Before it, everyone loved it and it became like a huge phenomena. I watch all the shitty isekais. Don't recommend any of them to anybody except Konosuba. That's great. I would say maybe one of my top favorites would be like Konosuba. It's just like actually one of the only good English dubs. It's just very funny. A little over the top with the sexual stuff, but I don't care. I'm a degenerate. I'm used to that shit. It's great humor. I think most of my favorite animes just have like really good comedy in them. I think anime is one of the mediums where like comedy really shines. So I would say, have I watched the Soda's Halo movie? No, I have not. Oh, this is gonna be a goddamn. It's gonna be a goddamn. God damn it, Gucci. I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting. Go ahead, say it. Mob is valid for so is Konosuba. Yeah. They're both pretty good. Just watched Konosuba with a friend last night. It's pretty great, even though it feels degenerate at times. It's overall wholesome at heart. True. Have you seen the season 2 of Isekai wa Smartphone? No. All I know, I vaguely remember seeing like a few episodes of that show, and I don't know. It was too bad for me. Like, I love shitty isekais. I like watching them. But that one was just bad. There's only so deep that I can go into a show where it's just like, here's a guy who can do anything and has a massive harem of generic, boring anime girls. You're just like, I can't be here. This is just too much. What the hell? I just want to get in the cruiser. I say story over tits and ass. Yeah, I mean, listen, man. After you've watched like 5 fucking harem animes in your life, you've seen them all. Like, all the rest of them are gonna be boring, generic crap. You're like, oh boy, she fell over and her panties are unscrewed. Oh, like, it's like, I don't know. Maybe it's just that I'm like an adult now. I don't give a fuck. I'm just too, I don't know. I'm jaded to stuff these days. Like, stuff like that. Like, when I was 16, I would have been like, oh my god, this is the best thing I've ever seen. But now I've, like, seen actually good anime, and I've watched them for years, so now I'm just like, that's poo-poo. Why is this poo-poo? Oh my, I didn't even, no wonder I can't get it. It's not even set up. Okay, I've almost got this set up. Give me 2 more seconds. Covenant cruiser.vehicle. Cov cruiser.vehicle. Okay. Reopen that. Oh, that. I'm no fan of most romance heavy stories. Yeah, it's pretty rare for anime to like actually do romance good. And you're definitely not gonna find it in a fucking isekai, I can promise you that. I don't think there's a single isekai anime that's ever been made where like you were like, wow, it's so romantic and beautiful. Like, no, that's not. Isekai romance is like, wow, you're so epic and cool. Oh my god, you're so sick. You're the coolest, strongest guy ever. And we're gonna set up situations where it's gonna seem like we're gonna have sex, but not really. Like, it's so bad, dude. It's so terrible. Like, I just, no. Fugma. Oh wait, no, this is all fine actually. Never mind, we're good. I'm re-exporting. You wanna watch a good anime movie? Go watch Your Name. Or no, even better. What's it called? Oh my god. It came out in 2021. Is it 2020? When did it come out? Really good anime movie is... Oh no, it is Your Name, right? Yeah, I think. Yeah, that is. I was right, okay. So, okay, here's what changed for me. I don't give a fuck about harem animes. I think they're trash, garbage. But the reason I watch isekais is for the hope that I can get like that dopamine rush of like the character getting stronger. All I want to see is that like shonen aspect of like the character starts weak and then becomes a badass. That is such like a fun arc. I will watch that same arc 1,000 times because if they do it good, it's just great. Especially if it has good animation and the characters around the main character are good and like believable. That is so much fun for me every single time. I love that. That is so much fun. So much fun. Oh. Oh shit, wait. So I may have goofed a little bit. The cruiser is sideways right now, so that's why I'm re-importing it. But yeah, for now we can fly a cruiser sideways. Wicked. Also, it has a mat cannon. Not as wicked. How about an isekai where the main character doesn't become some super badass? There's some of those. There's isekais where like the guy's a good cook. Or there's isekais where it's like, she's a girl and she just likes to farm. There's one of the best isekais you will ever read. And I'm so sad it only has 2 seasons animated and the rest is a light novel you have to read. But it is... What's the name of it? It's something Bookworm. It has maybe the best, most in-depth and realistic lore I've ever seen. And it makes for really good reading. It's a light novel, you have to read it. And it's something Bookworm. Holy shit, what is this? And it's technically an isekai, Ascendance of a Bookworm, and it's the premise is schoolgirl dies. She's a huge nerd. She gets reincarnated as like a little girl in like poverty in another world, but it's like amazingly good world building, like some of the best world building I've ever seen, and she just grows up from like age 0, full years and everything, slowly growing up, like falling in love with her new family. And her ultimate goal is one day she's going to learn to create books and sell books to commoners, because only books are super rare in the world she's reborn in, and she wants to write books and like sell them, and like that's her whole thing. And it's just a really, really good story. And I shit you not, some of like the best world building I have ever seen in anything, not just anime, like literally some of the best world building ever. It's fantastic. It was so good that I read like 4 or 5 volumes of the light novel. Why am I still rotated sideways? God damn it. Oh man, I'm steaming mad now. Let me redo the idle animation. And I broke everything. Okay, so. God, gosh darn it. Frick. Thoughts on JoJo? I watched season 1 of JoJo, the first JoJo, and it was okay. It wasn't really my thing. I get why people like it, but I don't think I'm the type to like that, to be honest. When someone watches part 1 of JoJo and drops it. Okay, so I watched part 1 and then I watched a couple episodes of part 2. But the problem was the show just never hooked me. I have no idea why. I thought I would like, I thought I would enjoy it, but it just really never hooked me. A shame. The show just wasn't for me. Like the exaggerated nature, like I like shows where like the story, it was just a little too ridiculous. I prefer like more grounded stories. It was a little too like cartoony, comic-y for me, which is, but that's just me. That's just me. Maybe there's a chance I could rewatch it one day and really enjoy it, but not at all into JoJo until I started listening to the soundtrack. I actually don't know much about JoJo's soundtrack. I have no idea how it sounds. Wait, I had this right before. What the fuck? Now it's facing on the x-axis. That's no wait, isn't that right? It faces positive on the x-axis and the bones point towards positive on the y. No wait, this is right. Why didn't it work before? Did it fail to import? Weird. Simply do not understand. Is that an HD Covenant Cruiser model? I mean, there isn't really a low quality Covenant Cruiser model in Reach. This is just a Covenant Cruiser. So, sorta? I haven't upscaled anything, and I don't know if I will actually. The one in Reach is decent. Like, it's definitely blurry, but I don't really see it until you get really close to it. There's a reason JoJo music terms of it means because the soundtrack is god tier. Fair point. I didn't really think about that. Doesn't hurt to branch into manhwa either. No. Oh yeah, I wanted to read Tower of God. I was so hooked by solo leveling. I know that's like such a mainstream thing now, but I was just so hooked by it. And now they're making an anime out of it. Sweet, sweet goodness. Yeah, there's a lot of great manhwa. I actually prefer a lot of manhwa because they'll actually color it. And don't get me wrong, I'm fine with reading black and white panels. I get it. It's a lot of work, but yeah, it's good. You gotta embrace the insanity of the writing to get into JoJo. Yeah, true. I just don't think I was. I think I kind of went into it not ready for that, which is on me. Please just finish importing. I just want to fly the cruiser, please. Yeah, I highly recommend if somebody wants like a full color, like I would describe Solo Leveling as a manhwa, as like a comic book kind of. Solo Leveling, highly recommend. If you have nothing to do for an hour, go look up Solo Leveling and read it. Just trust me. If you spend an hour on it and you get past the, I think it's like the first 5 to 10, probably like the first 5 to 6 chapters are like intro chapters, and then the real story starts. Oh, so good. So fucking good. The art's incredible too. The art on Solo Leveling, oh my fucking god. So good. What do you think of Chainsaw Man? I actually never finished Chainsaw Man. I know, sacrilege, but it was really good. I really enjoyed it. I think I'm on episode 7. I gotta finish it. I was watching it with my ex when it was airing, and then we broke up, so I kind of dropped it and forgot about it. Oh, it's done. Why is it still fucking doing this? Hello? Wait a minute. No, I have the right model selected. Oh. Oh, I know why. I know why. This should theoretically fix it. Wait. Green told me how to fix this at one point, and I totally forgot how to do it. But I swear he did. I just hope that, I frankly hope the Solo Leveling anime is good. I have no idea if it will be. Okay, well, while I hopefully get this fixed, I think I know the solution to it. The other thing I need to do is get some engine effects on this. This thing desperately needs... Oh, hey, there we go. I fixed it. I lied. Fuck. Why? 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 The camera face is the right way. And the moment I get into... Okay, I was talking in a call with Green, and he told me the solution to this weird bug was... Oh! I know what happened. I know exactly what happened. Yup, there's the problem. So I need to move the tail on the y-axis. Perfect. Alright, I fixed it. I was actually just being dumb and stupid for the past 10 minutes. My bad. Should be better now. Once it imports in 2 minutes and 14 seconds, it'll work. What am I trying to do? Yeah, basically, I'm making a flyable cruiser, and I was just being dumb and accidentally had the entire ship rotated left to right. The reason I screwed it up for so long is because I'm new to reach modding, and there's a special thing where you have to have these very specific bones in your any model you import needs a bone structure that are named a specific thing and they're pointed in a specific direction. And mine were not pointed in the right direction, and now they are. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right, I'm actually going to go to the Corvette, the Covenant Corvette's files, and I'm going to throw all of the effects and things from them onto this. Okay, let me check something really quickly. Okay. Covenant cruiser, Covenant cruiser. Where's my cat? Where's my cat? Yeah. You under my bed? Oh, hey, you're under my desk. You gonna add space nukes? Maybe, but that's not very fun. Getting insta-killed by a nuke in space. Maybe though. I did it on huge grass, so why not, right? If they're dodgeable, I'll do it. Because you have to be like, everything that I add, if it's like insanely powerful, needs some kind of counter. If it doesn't have a counter, then that just kind of sucks. But if there's a good counter for it, then we're in business. I'll have to think about it though, because I do really want to add nukes, which means I need to work really hard to make sure I can have nukes. Pickled. Again, I'd say just scale down the nuke damage. Good point, good point. Also, nukes wouldn't really work against Covenant vehicles if their shields are up, so... Zach Fair, thank you very much for the 10. Much appreciated. Very kind of you. What are you thinking for the spawns on this? Spaceports with ships docked on each side of the map would be sick. Very true. I'm sure it's already been suggested, but I was curious what you had in mind. So, truly, I haven't got into, like, intense levels of detail on what I specifically want to do for each ship and how they spawn, but something like a dry dock in space what I was thinking. I think having something like Anchor 9 for the human side, and then like, or like the UNSC Infinity, and then something like a big assault carrier, like the one that I have spawned into the map right now. I'll show you here. Something like these. And having like Covenant ships just spawn underneath it would be pretty cool, because I don't know of any like actual Anchor 9 style dry dock that could be used for the Covenant. So maybe something like this. They just kind of spawn in. Or alternatively, slip space jump into system. If I can do a slip space jump animation and that's how things spawn in, oh man, that would be fucking sick. So I'm gonna try that. That's the goal right now. Slip space jump on underneath a massive Covenant carrier, because I am pretty sure I can do that, because you can change the spawn animations of stuff. I'm pretty sure you can anyway. I actually had an idea for how to do slip space, making it so that like while you're fighting, if you're like gonna die, you can do a slip space jump and it'll teleport you a fixed distance away, and the fixed distance away will always put you in a separate map, so that there's actually two areas that you're battling in, and every time you slip space jump, it teleports you between the two spaces. Zach Fair, thank you very much for the 2. Appreciate it. That would make me... I know, that would be fucking sick. It would be so sick. And Joe the Assassin with the 2 as well. Thank you so much. Change the space nukes to just be a massive EMP. Not a bad idea. It could like instantly break Covenant shields, or like nearly take them out entirely if their shields are down. I'd have to make them just like, maybe I'll make them like look visually amazing, but generally just be like very powerful. Why did this just reload again? What changes did I make? I have no idea what I changed. Oh well, it loaded. That's what's important. Oh right, so let me go ahead and add in the Covenant Corvette stuff. Okay, so copy all of the attachments from the Corvette and paste them onto the cruiser. Boom, like that. So I think I delete the engine smalls, keep the engine larges, put them on FX engine, and then put the sounds on there as well. And then I do need to make a function really quickly. Yeah, whatever. I'll rename this from POA engine to cruiser engine, and I can just use that for this. Cool. Ah. I meant to do that. I totally meant to do that. Yeah, totally meant to do that. What the frick, man? First of all, rotate Z. Second of all, I take all you markers. I rotate -90. Oh, you can't see what I'm doing. Sorry. Rotate Z 90. -90. Okay, I get to reposition all the markers again. Give me a minute here. That's glass hole, so I get to put this right there. Okay, that's pretty good. Positioned it well. I think that means the engines are lined up. Yeah, looks like the engines are lined up. Maybe bring it down just a touch. Just a little bit. Right there. Okay, so now all the effects and stuff will work. So I save that. I'll export it out one final time, hopefully. Hopefully, fingers crossed, this is the final time I have to re-export everything out tonight. What if you did plasma turrets on the side like the real thing? I probably will. So right now, I've said it a couple times, basically I'm just trying to get a bunch of vehicles in and functioning as vehicles, and then after this, I'm going to focus on what kind of weapons are they going to have, what are the final speeds and health that they're going to have, and also... Did it just finish? Nice. But holy shit, are those some big engines. Wait, is it that they're big engines, or is it that... Ah, they're backwards. Okay. This time for real, for real. Have you heard the Minecraft movie's coming out in 2025? I have not, but I'm also not surprised. I went and saw the Mario movie. It was really good. I liked it a lot. So chances are there's going to be a bunch more Nintendo movies coming in the next like 5 years as well. 5 to 10 years. Gonna make the Nintendo Cinematic Universe culminating in the Super Smash Bros. Brawl movie or something like that. I would be so down for a Legend of Zelda movie. Mr. Reinhardt, thank you very much for re-upping as a 1-month member. Came back for a second month, and I appreciate that a lot. Make the flyable gamer chair in space. Wait, that's actually a genius idea. I should be doing that. I don't know why I'm not doing that right now. I'm in a space map. I could have the flyable gamer chair. Joe the Assassin, thank you for the $5. Appreciate it. Add longsword nuke, but with saber tracking, where it will bounce off the shields if they aren't down. Ooh, that's a good idea. That's a really good idea. Then use the EMP idea from earlier. Damn. That is such a good idea. I'm going to do that for sure. Thank you for that suggestion, Joe. I'll probably do like Mac cannon for the frigate and turrets as the second weapon, and then third weapon will be like nukes. Maybe even like a fourth weapon where it's missiles, and you can just like kind of go between them all. So like Mac cannon, turrets, missiles, and then the super missile, aka the nuke, and the missiles will bounce off. Actually, maybe I'll make it so the regular missiles on the frigate actually will work on the shields, and so will the turrets. But then you can't actually hit them with... Would it be kind of pointless since they have Mac rounds to do nukes? I guess the Mac rounds wouldn't be, like, insane. Are you emo? Your fingertips are black? No, I'm not emo. I just have black nails. Yeah, I'm gonna have to up these engine effects a little bit, I think. They don't look bad, though. They just seem like the lens flares and stuff are a bit small. Yeah, I'm gonna have to make those a bit bigger. But it is working, which is pretty cool. I'm definitely gonna have to zoom the camera out a bit more. What would be a good... Oh, wait, I have to fix the physics model. I just noticed that this thing is floaty, like very, very floaty. So I need to go into the physics model for it and tweak one value that has seemed to work pretty well. Change the inertia or angular dampening value to 0.5, and that makes it so the ship will not... It'll move to the side slower, and it won't, like, overshoot and autocorrect back and forth and do, like, a wobble until it aims right. See, now if I look... Like, it moves slowly, but if I do this... While it is turning very slowly... Actually, I'm going to up the power on. I feel like I should turn a little bit faster than that. There's a value for that, which I'll find really quickly in here. Flying torque scale. It's probably too much at 100, but I'll see. That's pretty balanced. It's a good turning rate. Look, it barely overcorrects when you aim. Not bad. I do need to zoom the camera out, so let's make a custom camera track for it. It's a very boring thing to do, but also very important for being able to see your ship. So pillar bottom camera, we'll go to cruiser, make this the cruiser driver camera. And just as a test, look in game, let me pull out the calculator. And we'll go to the middle camera point, and we'll go back in game really quickly. I'm going to look this way, which is about forward. And then I'm going to go to this middle point. This is the middlemost camera point, and I've got my handy dandy calculator. I'm going to take this is the value for distance, and I am going to multiply it by 1.2 and see if that is any better. Not bad, actually. What do you guys think about this zoom distance? Should I zoom it out more so you can see the entire cruiser? Or is it fine just being able to see the butt of it? I think it's kind of fine like this, to be honest. I could, though. I could. Hear me out. Go and zoom it out really crazy far. It'll look like this, and you can see the cruiser from, like, all the way back. Might be a bit much, though. What do you think? Joe the Assassin, thank you so much for the 2. I really appreciate that. Idea, max do 33% shield and no physical damage. No physical I feel like they're pretty much... They're very heavily physical damage based, so... Well, let me try one. Shit. Not a bad idea. It's just... I don't know. Talking about balance stuff is hard for... What the... Oh. Yeah, I'm zoomed way too far out. Hold on. Let's try 1.3 really quickly. That might look good. This is not bad. You can still see, like, the engines from this angle. Even when you're looking straight on. I think this is pretty good. This is a good amount. 1.3. I'll multiply all distance values by 1.3. So I'll let you guys see it in game for a second while I do all the boring camera stuff. It'll take me about 2 minutes to do. multiplying by 1.3 while listening to some beautiful Reach music. Zach Fair with the big old tenor. Holy shit. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Let me put this value in and then wait 2 seconds. I got 2 more to do for this part and I'm almost done. And okay, I reached the halfway point. Sweet. Alright, Zach Fair, you were very generous and hit me with that tenor. Really appreciate that. Would it be possible to have a teleporter on the dry dock? It teleports you to a gunner seat on a random friendly ship. Was just thinking about how Battlefield does it. Yeah, and you know what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to make a game mode that does a lot of stuff like Battlefield and other games. Because the great thing that you guys may or may not know about Reach is that unlike the previous games where you had fixed game modes where certain things happen, and you can't really change much about it, in Halo Reach, every game mode was recreated in a new scripting system called Megalo, and you can literally script like insane game modes, like seriously insane game modes. So I can do kind of all kinds of crazy stuff like that in Reach, and it is super fucking cool. And I plan on doing them, in fact. So I think I'm gonna do like I'm definitely doing a full-on Megalo game mode for this. I just haven't decided to what extent. Like I'm thinking vehicle consoles with like holograms and stuff where you can like, ooh, look at that camera track. That's nice. You can see the whole ship like this. But yeah, I think that's a good idea, actually. Implementing a spawn system where you can just get... Oh my god, this looks so fucking good. Why does flying the cruiser like feel so satisfying? Damn. Do you have an effect where you get shot when you when you get shot, you have an effect when the shields are down? Yeah, I'm gonna make a really massive like EMP energy effect whenever the ship's shields go down. And for the record, all Covenant ships will have giant energy shields that you have to take down. Look how tiny the Corvette is. That was supposed to be a massive ship. Oh wait, here's something fun. Now that all the vehicles... This is something my old mod never had. Physics models. My old mod never had physics models. And physics models are literally just like the collision when two things interact together. And now, I can make physics models in like 2 seconds. It's not even a big deal, but it used to be like the biggest deal. I can fly underneath all these giant ships here. Trigger their physics to activate by getting in proximity. Look at that, they bounce on top of the ship. It's crazy to think that it was so hard to do this before. Barely dream of having complex physics models, and now there's a Corvette bouncing off the top of my massive Covenant cruiser. Ship ramming, oh yeah. I will try to find a way to make it so the bigger ships can win. Like the bigger ship that has more mass, hopefully wins a ramming contest. We'll see though. Is this real life? Are they to scale? They are the in-game scale. I have changed nothing. They're exactly as they appeared in Reach. That's all I can tell you. Spawn a particle effect that shoots out metal panels and pipes in every direction with no gravity. Yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to all the different particle effects. I want these ships to have a special material where if they are impacted with like a penetrating object, fire will shoot out of like both directions where it's impacted. and like giant chunks of metal will come out, and there will be like fire that stays on that location for a fixed amount of time. I'm really looking forward to making super detailed ship impact effects. I want like Mac cannons to impact a certain way. I want the little bullets to like leave like momentary little fiery bits, and I want floating debris chunks and like clusters to fly around. Like I want it immersive, and I have some optimized methods I can use to make like giant debris clouds and things like that. All right. Now I want to make a glassing beam. And this is going to be interesting because I have a pretty clear memory of the last time I made the reach glassing beam attached to a weapon. I had to take the glassing beam effect and split it into 3 separate effects, which was, right now the glassing beam effect is, it's one effect. It's fixed in place. It's not dynamic. There's no projectiles shooting out. It's just a simple effect where there's a charge up part, a giant beam that goes a fixed distance, and then instantly an explosion. It's all in one effect. It's all fixed. It's not dynamic. So basically I have to split it up into 3. Where I make a charge up effect, I make a beam effect for the projectile that shoots out, and then I make an impact effect when the beam, whatever, hits the ground or a fixed distance, or basically whenever it explodes for whatever reason. And that's not actually too hard to do. But although I haven't done too much in Reach with, as far as like, what is it? Effects. That's the word I was looking for. God, my brain do be working sometimes. Not always. Should I add a spot on your map where you can go to space and fight with the flyable ships? That's the whole point of the mod. That's everything. That's what the mod is. Yeah. Agreed. I think that's a great idea. I think I will make the ships flyable in space and you can fight with them. Great idea. Oh, right. Are you going to make this version aimable? I don't think there is a way to make a glassing beam aimable, to be honest with you. Like, I can't really do anything with that. It just shoots straight down. That is all. To be honest, this glassing beam may not actually oh my god, my brain is so not working today. What in the hell is happening? Might not work in gameplay. I might not actually use it because in gameplay it's probably not going to be great. So I'm actually going to take the glassing beam and make a charge up version, make a beam version, and then make an impact version. Great, we got all 3 effects. And swing on over to here. RejectedShotgun, should I subscribe to you? No, my content is terrible. It's honestly so bad. You should close this tab and run for your life. Never look back. I have the worst content you will ever see. And I don't think you should subscribe. I think that's a horrible mistake waiting to happen. The energy projectors are something I'm really looking forward to. Those are super cool. And especially on the heavy destroyer, whenever I get that into the mod, it's going to be badass. Oh, excuse me. God damn. Why am I tired, dude? I know I'm still sick, but like I should be feeling better. I'm so unbelievably tired. Holy hell. All right, let's get this glassing beam in. Alright, so we have a glassing charge. This should be easy. Oh, why am I so tired? God damn, dude. Alright, I can... Oh, it's my cat. My cat. Energy projectors and glassing beams are literally the same thing. Yeah, but aren't energy projectors usually used as like aimable lasers, whereas a glassing beam is like a super overpowered energy projector that goes like straight down? Or am I mistaking that? Okay, I think... Was it really that easy? Here's the charging effect. Can I just slap this on a Spartan laser and call it a day? Yeah, it's got the sound effect, and then I assume, yeah, the EMP particles. Huh. Neat. Make the lich flyable in this mod? Ah, that's another thing I want to add to the mod is the lich. I think the lich should be great in this mod. Oh. You know what? I might actually do that. I'm really tired today. I don't know why. It's just like, it's been hitting me in waves for the past, like, even before I started stream, but I pushed through and decided to stream anyway. I think maybe I should just, like, go chill for an hour and then go to bed. I think it's not a bad idea. Alright, here's what I'm going to do. I have a list of vehicles I really want for this mod. The cruiser's already working good. I'm going to finish the glassing beam, I think, off stream, and then come on stream tomorrow and show you guys how it looks. I'll probably have a Twitter video out. It'll look super sick. I'm going to contact the Sins of the Prophets guys just in case there's like a slight chance that they might let me use like a model of a specific vehicle. I doubt they will, but I'm going to ask anyway. And then I'm also going to have the Spirit of Fire will be in this. The Heavy Destroyer will be in this. Which is the funny looking Covenant ship with like the horns on it. That's going to be in, and yeah, it'll be really, really sick. Really, really sick. Looking forward to it. I'm also going to have the UNSC Infinity, at least as a base model. I don't know if I'll make it flyable. After the cruiser, I'll probably make the flyable assault carrier, aka the super carrier. And what else? What else? I think that's it. Yeah, cool. Since the Prophets guys are pretty chill, it may be okay, especially if it's with a Heavy Destroyer. True, I don't want to just be like, may I use all of your models? Because for many reasons, that's way too much. But if they have like, honestly, the Spirit of Fire one is the one I'm super curious to use. I don't know. I'll write down like a list of all my favorite ships from their mod, and then I'll be like, is there any way, please, that I may use this and credit to? We'll see though. I'll shoot him like a Twitter DM or something on the off chance. I don't know. I feel bad. It's like it's so rude to ask, but anyway, I will. Anyway. I'm gonna head off. I'm gonna go eat some food. I'm gonna go lay in bed. I'm gonna go throw in a show, and I'm gonna pass the hell out. Wake up early tomorrow, and be ready for stream with a cool glassing beam. Follow me on Twitter, by the way, if you guys want to see some updates when I'm not streaming. I post stuff there at RejectedShotgun. Anyway. Have a good night, everybody. I really appreciate you being here. Thank you for all the support today. It's been really nice. It's been a chill stream. Reach mods are ramping up. Extinction, soon-ish, whenever I finish this mod. That said, I hope you guys all have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your night. And your morning for you Europeans out there. I will see you all tomorrow. Have a good one. Yeah.